2023, last quarter, episode 7. This week I enjoyed the beach yet again. I visited some of the work that I did on the davits, get a visit from some lovely people. I go out at night. I bake some bread. We do some lovely things. We do some horrible things. We break stuff. We fix stuff. Enjoy the ride. Welcome back. First of all, the davits. Well, that's been a lovely little job to get done, to be honest. Horrible job to do, but going to be so much easier to just drop the tender, pick it up, and be safe doing it, not lose a toe or a finger in the meantime. New Year's Day, and I had a great visit from an old mate, Rob, and his new wife, Annie. Haven't seen Rob for quite a few years, and we basically catch up these days at funerals. I used to work with Rob back in the late 80s and early 90s at Dandenong. Good to see you, Rob. I then, after they left, went out at night. I went to the pensioners and kids fireworks display here on the Spit at Mooloolaba, and it was brilliant. I'll put a little snippet of the fireworks in here, but I'll put it at the end, the full 10-minute. If you want to watch the fireworks at the end, that's where it'll be. Five minutes is up. I wonder what a bit of pepper might be like. Got no seeds, pepper it is. All right. 40 minutes, full whack. Come back and have a look. Okay, reveal time. What do we think? Look all right? Ow. Oh, it's looking better than my finger. Well, there we go. That looks good. We'll let it cool, give it a try. I can't wait any longer. It's not cold, it's still pretty warm, but I can't wait any longer. I'm curious. Let's see. Looks pretty good. Smells good. I'm sure it'll cut better when it's cold, but that's looking pretty good. What do we think? Any good? So, we did the sandwich loaf. Today, baguettes. I don't know how good this is going to be, but I'm pretty excited. So, if I can get them half as good as you buy them in the shops, I'll be pretty happy. So, it's been a bit of a long process of kneading and waiting and rising and kneading and waiting, but I'm just about there. So, now, and have a look at how fluffy that is. It's so fluffy. So now I have to form the baguettes. And I've got to get them the right size for my little oven, because it is pretty small. So we do something like that, and then this is apparently how the French do it. We roll layer up on layer up on layer. And then pinch to seal. And then we lay it in the tray. And we wait 30 minutes. So I'll do that and we'll come back. The big reveal time. Here we go. So you bought a boat. It's got toilets in it. Sooner or later, those toilets are going to let you down. I don't care how much money you spend on them. I don't care if they're new. I don't care if they're old. They're going to break. And when they do, you have to fix them. So this one, for quite a time, has smelt like hell on earth. I've got a feeling there's something stuck in the water in, and it's even got to the point now that the pump has stopped. So I think there's something dead in the pipe. There's going to be yuck stuff in the pipe anyway, but it's got to be fixed. So You're donning your PPE. You wear your old shitty clothes, shitty being the poignant thing, and you dive in. So, first of all, we shut the water off. And the first problem is I can't shut the valve. So that might be the something that's stuck in the pipe work. And we'll just work through it. And then little bit by little bit, just keep working the valve. I think whatever is there is rotten. So I'm slowly just breaking it up, I think. I think I've shut. So it's out. I'm sure no one wanted to watch that for half an hour. Me frigging around with this, getting this dirty fricking thing out. I'm trying not to say fuck. It's seized. The motor on the thing's seized. Pipe work and all that looks alright. So one new dunning coming up. The joys of owning a boat. So all bar the worker has had a scrub with disinfectant. Everything's as clean as it can be in here for now. The last thing to do is me. So the seal on the motor, the electric motor, had gone and water had gotten into the windings of the motor and past its use by date. So I'm not going to show you that on video. It's all pretty ugly. Perhaps when I get the new one, I'll show you where it failed, but yeah, you don't need to see the old one. So for now, it's clean. It's the holiday season in between Christmas and New Year. Nothing's open. I've at least got a second head. I can use that. I can still use the shower. I wait for parts. But toilets, if you own a boat, I tell you, you're going to do this. They're going to let you down at the most inopportune moment, and it's the worst job ever. But it's part of the deal. Yeah. Right. I'll come back when I've got some bits and when I'm a bit cleaner. Hello all, we're back in the toilet. Well, since I left you in a big mess here in my bathroom, I got a call from my youngest daughter Kate. They needed a hand with a bit of building and what have you, moving into a new place. So I spent a week being a builder's labourer, which is well beyond a man of my young years. But anyway, though he killed me, spent a week up there. So when I got back here to get back to the toilet, it was still in a disarray. And in my haste to get it all done, I forgot to film it. But here we go. So it's all back together. Some of the problems I had, I got it all back together. The hoses were ratchet, I had to change those. But now we've got new see-through ones. So you can see the food going in and you can wish it goodbye as it sends off into the blue. So if that interests you, I can show you that. So here we go. And there it goes, off into the blues. The toilet is all back together. The problem was this motor here. They have a little seal in here which stops the water getting in. That one had failed and the water did get in, and all the electric motor was seized because of the salt water. So now it works, it flushes, and it smells a whole lot better. Next issue is, let's come upstairs. So I've been thinking about lithium batteries on the boat for quite a while, and that's an expensive operation to do. And a mate of mine, who's pretty good with all that sort of stuff, was going to do it for me. As with everything on a boat, you've got to consult the insurance company. And after talking to them, they said everything that's done's got to be done to Australian standard, and it's got to be done by a registered electrician, A-grade electrician. So, sorry Dave, that's not you. And what precipitated all of this is that the power points around the boat, I'll go back a step. When you're in the marina, you plug into the power, everything's good to go. But once a week or so, I would turn the power off and just make sure all the batteries and inverters and all that are all working. When I got back from Kate's place, I did just that, turned the power off, and I had no power to any of the power points. So I turned the inverter on and off, checked for fuses, looked for anything obvious, and that was the end of my electrical know-how. So I had a mate in the marina that gave me a number of a good marine electrician. He came out this morning, he's had a look-see. The inverter looks like it's dead, which is expensive, of course. And a couple of the AGM batteries, which I'll show you at some point, are pretty much on their way out as well. So that was going to cost around $800 per battery to replace old technology, AGM batteries. Or this was probably a pretty opportune moment to bite the bullet and go lithium batteries. There was other issues on the boat. The generator is apparently not to Australian standards. There's no circuit breaker on it. It's hooked straight into the inverter. He said it's a really weird setup the way it is set up. The cabling that comes down from the solar panels is not sufficient. The controller for the solar panels is way underpowered, and I'd noticed that getting hot for a couple of months. It was getting really hot, and he said, yeah, because it's rated at 30 amp and there's 40 amp going through it. So there's a number of things with the boat. I'm not an electrician. It's my Achilles heel on the boat. I'm pretty good with most things, but electronics and electrical are not my forte. So I've bitten the bullet. In the next week or so, lithium batteries will be going on the boat. However, that after the last boat having lithium batteries, going back to AGMs is like going back to the Stone Age. You're just always worried about power, and it's never going to be enough, and it's just a pain in the ass. But lithiums, you don't even have to think about them. They're just there, they're charged, they're ready to go, they've got plenty of it. So I've also got 3 fridges on the boat. I've probably showed you before. There's a full size fridge in one of the cupboards, which I've never used. But I intend to go offshore this year. I want to go do all the outer reefs up north. And if I've got lithium batteries on the boat, then maybe I could turn the little bar fridge off on the back porch and turn the full-size domestic fridge on inside because I'll have the power to run it. So that might be, I'm fixing a number of problems just by getting rid of the old AGM batteries and old technology. So they're moving ahead, but it's freaking expensive. But I did tell him, like, I'm born a handsome man, not a rich one. He didn't seem to care about that. Anyway, in the meantime, I've been making bread. Bread's looking good. Hang on. Let's see if we can see the bread. Bit burnt on that side. Don't look at that side. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, how good's that? Bit dark that side. Righto. I reckon that's it for now. See you next time. That's it. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a safe and prosperous 2023. Please remember to like the video and subscribe. Leave a comment too if you want. Take it easy, folks. Bye.